Hello everyone, you'll be pleased to know that I've got my arms covered now. It's Richard here, the Urban Warlock from Urban Warlock Healing. This is my side. Today I am going to be sticking my oar into something that I have no right to, really. It's just my opinion. This isn't actually parenting advice. But again, it's common theme, common thread, almost called it card of the day then, but that's glory. Just before I do, it's been a bit of a funny old day because I've been to do a house cleansing, removing an entity, and it's the first time I've had a little bit of attack from one. So it actually made my shoulder feel a bit funny. It's still feeling a little bit twingy now. But, you know, I did my best and, yeah, I'm fairly confident it's gone and, I've kind of sorted myself out. So, yeah, so that's one thing. And then I got home and I made a wand for a 4-year-old. Yeah, that's what's kind of inspired, this video. So just on a kind of side note, I used to make wands. I used to sell them. That's where the Urban Warlock thing comes from. It used to be Urban Warlock wands and I used to sell them on Etsy. And then I kind of diverted into doing mediumship and tarot and yeah, didn't really have the time to do it anymore, to be honest, so I packed up my stuff. Yeah, the common thread or the common theme, if you want to call it this one's been a little bit of a slow burner, really. So over the last probably month or so, month and a half, I've been talking to different people, either doing readings or friends and stuff like that, who are kind of wanting to get into, I'm kind of going along more the witchcraft route here rather than the kind of spiritualist route, just because I suppose there's a little bit more stigma with witchcraft. So these people I've been talking to, they've been interested in like starting their own kind of witchcraft journey, or their children seem to be little witches. I suppose, like I say, I'm just going to give my opinion. It's not advice because they're your kids. Unfortunately, I've not been blessed with having children and probably won't be now. So I just wanted to give my opinion on the situation, really. So yeah, please don't see it as advice. Don't take my advice. I've got kids. Yeah, I suppose the advice was to explore it. You know, especially if you're interested in it, take them along for the journey. You know what I mean? I think that's brilliant. You know. I think, unfortunately, in today's society, there's this stigma around magic. You know, we talk about magic and people think either magician, or Harry Potter or Disney. Now, for me, magic is real, and it is, and it's different. It's different to what we're told by the media. Media. So you know, magic is found in nature. You know, magic is the wind in your hair. Magic is the sun on your face. You know, all the elements. That's all magic. Probably the most prolific for me is words. Words carry an awful lot of magic. They have the power to create and destroy. Okay. Now, I know some of you out there won't believe in curses, and that is perfectly fine. You know, again, as I said in that earlier video, you know, I'm not saying I'm right. It's just my belief system. Now, for me, a curse is created when somebody says something with venom, an intent. That then causes a ripple effect and then it sticks to that person. It creates this energy and it sticks to that person it's intended to. So for me, again, that is magic. That is a form of magic. Now, this started off a few, well, probably like a month or so ago now, when somebody I know was saying that we were talking about their daughter, 8-year-old, having some kind of gift, put it that way. And I was like, they got magic in them, baby. And we were talking about that. Now, for me, I was saying I'd encourage it, to be honest. You know what I mean? They've clearly got a gift. I'd encourage it. You know what I mean? And I decided to write I suppose a letter, if you want to call it that. It was via text, trying to explain to an 8-year-old that magic exists. And when I was writing this, I remembered that, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Now, for most people, it's quite flippant. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, they'll put it down. Now, I stopped and I thought about that. That is actually a counter curse. That is actually a protection against a curse. You know, in the way I see a curse, at least. You know, it's about saying, right, you cannot hurt me. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to protect myself here. And I think that, you know, going along those lines, you know, things like old fables and stuff like that, a lot of that talks about magic. Now, when we think about magic in its true form, magic is in our everyday lives. It's just that we don't see it that way. We don't perceive it that way. Okay. We're so kind of crushed by this system, if you want to call it that, that it's almost kind of removed magic from our daily lives. But it's there. It's there. We just need to see it. Now, the brilliant thing about kids is that they haven't yet been crushed by the system like us older ones. They haven't. That's why kids can often see spirits. You know, they can, you know, they have the, you know, a lot of imaginary friends. They're kind of spirits and stuff like that kids can see. It's because they've not been beaten around the head by bloody taxman and, you know, the government and stuff like that, you know, and then we grow up and, you know, we're told that things aren't real and we're just slowly crushed down to the point of depression. And, you know, we don't see this stuff anymore. It's there. It is there. You know, it's just a case of kind of stepping out of what you're told and seeing it from a different light. So, yeah, if you've got kids, get them involved. Get them involved. If they're interested, yeah, you might not be overly interested, but, you know, good parenting, as far as I'm aware, is about getting involved in stuff like that. Now, if I had kids, I don't really want to go and play mud pies and get my hands all dirty. But that's just me, and that's what you have to do, okay? I just thought of something far worse than that. Oh, Christ, meeting other parents at a kid's party. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, anyway, yeah, get them involved. Get them involved. There's nothing scary about witchcraft. You know, same with things like tarot. Now, I'm not able to read for anybody under 18. Okay, it's not that I refuse to, and it's not that I don't, you know, that I'm against it personally. It's because the insurance company says I can't. You know, I was reading tarot for myself at about, what, 10? Maybe a bit older, maybe a bit younger, I can't remember. Mum had a deck, you know, I was fascinated by it. You know, reading horoscopes in the back of the girly magazines and, you know, at school and stuff like that. Absolutely fascinated by it. Loved it. The problem was, I had nobody to then develop that. You know what I mean? So, you know, got put on the back burner, you know, carried on with tarot and stuff like that. I think if you're in a safe environment and it's a safe place to talk about this stuff, it's perfectly acceptable. The problem is, it's everybody else in society who thinks you're a bloody lunatic, you know. So what? I don't care. Yeah, I'm a bit of a lunatic. I'm a bit off the wall. So what? You know what I mean? This is another thing. I've learned to embrace my eccentricity. You know what I mean? If people don't like me, that's their problem. That's not mine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I don't get about other people. I don't judge them for it. That's their, you know, that's their prerogative. You know, if you want to do 9-to-5 job and then go down, spend all your money down the pub, you know, personally I find that a bit boring. But, you know, if you want to do that, that's your life, that's your prerogative. Let me do my life. Let people like me do our lives, and you do yours. So yeah, that was it really. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to get your kids involved. You know, sometimes, you know, it might take a bit of time to kind of explain this stuff to them. But if you can create a kind of safe environment where witchcraft and spirituality and stuff like that is discussed, I guarantee you that they'll grow up to be happy, you know, fully functioning adults who will probably want to spend their lives helping people and doing nice things rather than just sat around thinking about themselves like, you know, sorry to say, most of society, you know, the not in my backyard brigade. Anyway, yes, a little bit ranty again, but would you expect anything less? Just before I go, I'm running out of time. The Full Circle podcast have asked me back on this Friday. Now, I have warned Phil, I am a little bit off the wall, so it's probably going to be a bit of a different interview from last time, but he seems quite happy with that. So I'll keep you posted when that's out, because it should be a bit raw, a bit revealing, and a bit unusual. So until next time, everybody, stay magical.